Hello everybody and welcome back to the United Stand. Manchester United beat Liverpool at Anfield. Ruben Amorim finally has 2 back-to-back wins in the Premier League. 4 losses on the bounce from Arne Slot and Liverpool. 2 back-to-back wins in the Premier League from Manchester United. Come on! We are joined with Mods, Toni and Ricky.
Come on! Come on, United!
Yes, we will over-celebrate. We will over-celebrate because these wins don't happen that often. Nearly a decade without winning at Anfield. And today, it doesn't matter how much money you spent in the summer, Ruben Amorim came, he conquered, and I think a lot of people owe him an apology with his team selection. Yeah. Ricky, what do you think? Because we were speaking on the countdown to kick-off, it was going mental about his team selection.
When the team came out, it was going mental, wasn't it? And it took me a few minutes to think about it when I said we might have more. Everybody was going mad. Don't get me wrong. I would have picked Sesko. You know, but everybody in the chat was saying, where's Sesko, where's Sesko, where's Sesko? When I thought about it for a few minutes, you and Mordzs will probably remember, I said, you know what? With Cunha there and him dropping back a bit deeper, it'll make us a bit more solid, more players together, in the middle of the field, more compact. It might give us a better chance, and so it works out. And Cunha had a great game, by the way.
Yeah, I want to get straight into that because I think near enough every United fan was like, why is Sesko not starting? That was the one that I was hung up on. I was like, he's had 2 really good games, like 2 goals. What is he doing? But I thought, Mods, it worked a treat. Yeah. Van Dijk couldn't handle the fluid front 3 of Cunha and Bruno and Mount. It felt like that we were in quite a lot with that front 3.
Yeah, no, I think Ricky's right. I mean, when it first came out, I think the main thing was the fact that Sesko wasn't starting, and a lot of people were kind of looking forward to see Sesko get another goal. And don't get it twisted, when he came on, he did play well. So it's not to say that Sesko, if he did start, we would have lost or anything like that. But I just think Cunha and Bruno and Mount, all 3 of them, they put in such strong performances. I understand why it's such a debate as to who should start, and I understand why Amorim's probably thinking before the game, look, it's a win-win situation because they're all good enough, but also I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to play all 3 of them, and it worked in his favour. Cunha especially, I think, especially late on in that game, the way how he was so aggressive, the way how he didn't like back away from any 50-50, which that is the kind of player he is anyway, but I just think he really set the tempo in this game. Even after Mount went off, Cunha still kept that energy, and that's exactly what we needed in a very difficult, hostile game like this where, let's be honest, Liverpool were on our backs for the majority of the game. They were very much, they had loads of chances. They hit the post like 3 times, you know what I mean? So it was a very difficult game, but I think Cunha really kept that energy and kept that tempo, which eventually helped to see out the win.
Definitely. I love that appreciation for Matheus Cunha because, Toni, welcome back to the fans forum, by the way. You're bringing some good luck. We love to have you here, but we spoke a little bit about Matheus Cunha off air before we went live. I mean, what sort of impact did he have today? Would you say that was his best game in the United shirt? Yeah,
definitely. I think the performance, as Maud said, like towards the end, like I'm a massive NFL fan. We call those little runs, those first downs, and Matheus Cunha, those first downs you were giving me, man, like they meant it's just the way he just wanted the ball, especially we're in a game where we had 33% possession. It was just let's get the ball out. Cunha was like, you know what, in tight spaces, give me the ball, let me dribble it out of it. And we were thinking, no, pass, but he was beating his man, he was winning those 50-50s, and that's what we need. He looks like a United player. He looked like someone that wants the ball, and I think that's what a Man United player epitomises. So big ups to you, Matheus Cunha.
And big up to Ruben Amorim for starting him because, it was a big debate, and everyone thought the debate was between Mount and Cunha, but actually it was probably between Sesko and Cunha. And again, Sesko came on and did a really good job. But Ricky, you've been a little bit critical of Cunha since he's came into Manchester United. Were you happy with that today from him?
Absolutely over the moon. When you say a little bit critical, I think he's been bang average up to now. I've seen him play better for Wolves, obviously, but today I thought he was class from start to finish. Absolutely class. Held it well, passed it well. I don't like players who hold on to the ball too long, and maybe he did do that once or twice, but against them, it can work for you. He held it, a good few seconds a couple of times, but then won a free kick, and it gives your defence a breather, lets them get up the pitch a little bit. So I thought he was superb today. Absolutely superb.
Them little defensive actions towards the end as well, like you all mentioned. That is.
He won a free kick. You saw what I thought of it. He won a free kick with a minute to go. He got
Ricky
the ball.
celebrated it more than the Maguire winner.
Celebrated it more than the goal because it's done then, isn't it? It's done then. There's a minute to go. You get a free kick. They ain't scoring now, are they?
Yeah, and I think that one of the good things about not just Cunha but all three of those players is they can actually play in different roles. And we saw that today. There were points where Cunha was on the right and then Bruno was down the middle. And Mount isn't necessarily a left-sided player anyway, so he can go on the right and he can also go down the middle. So the fact that all three of them can kind of interchange and it's a lot more fluid than what we've normally had or what we've seen in the past, which I think is a great kind of, like I said before, a decision for Amorim in the sense of, let's just say one of them might pick up an injury, you know that the other player could fill in that same position. Whereas before, we might have a very left-sided player or a very right-sided player. All three of them can do all three roles. So, yeah, I think it's a great almost problem, if you want to call it that we have.
Well, it's a good problem. And also, I think it's good when you go into different teams. They don't know which way you're going to line up. They don't know if it's going to be that fluid front three of Mbeumo, Cunha, Mount. They don't know if it's going to be a target man in Sesko. They don't know how Ruben Amorim is going to line up, and I think that's a really good problem to have in sort of competition for places, is that the opposition team aren't going to know. Because I think Liverpool would have probably expected Sesko to start today, and I do think it caught that back four off guard when Cunha was in them pockets of spaces. Like I said, Van Dijk did struggle to deal with it, which I thought was going to be the opposite way around. So Ruben Amorim knew better than most of us. And if anyone's joining right now, we're just praising Cunha for his best game in a United shirt so far. We've got loads to get into. You're all coming from Mark's final score. Ricky, if anyone's missed it.
Come on, United! Come on!
Woo! I love it. I really want that as like my ringtone or something. When someone texts me, I want it to just
every time you score, just get Ricky to do that.
Footmob need to bring a thing in where if United score a goal, that's what pops up on your phone. But welcome everyone. People saying Slabfield, Harry Maguire Field.
Slabfield is crazy.
Slabfield. I love that one. I like that one. Do you know what as well? Can we just say, the mentality of Harry Maguire, last year, missed that opportunity to make it 3-2. I mean, we were all buzzing with the draw last year. We probably would have been buzzing with the draw today. But today, to then go on and win it with that header, it just kind of shows what sort of character he is, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And I'm going to be so real. For anyone that knows me, I am not Harry Maguire's biggest fan. But one thing I will say, mentality monster. For everything he's gone through, from him being the joke of our club, really, and proving himself in big moments, especially, as you said, we could have won last year, started this year, last season at Anfield, and he missed that massive chance. And today was redemption. So, you know, hats off to Harry Maguire. For you to do that, for you to go through what you've been through, you've been at the club since, 2019. It's been up and down, right? And for him to do that, to give us a win at Anfield for the first time since 2016, like, big up Harry Maguire, like, hats off to you, bro. Hats off to you.
Yeah, the thing about Harry Maguire is, I said it before when we stood here, all of his goals mean something.
Yeah.
Like every single Maguire goal means a lot for us. And you know what? When he does eventually leave, I mean, I know there's talks about him getting a new contract or whatever, but when
Sign him up, 10-year deal.
But when he eventually does leave, he's gonna have the best memories from Old Trafford. Not just Old Trafford, but from United, because the Leon goal. I mean, loads of the goals in the Europa League last season, all these last-minute winners, he's been either part of it or he's been the one to score it. Sometimes he's the one even crossing the ball in to get us a goal. We saw that last season as well. So you know what? Out of all the plays that we have and out of all the goals that we scored, he probably has the best selection that he can look back on and be proud of, because I hate to say it, but you know, he's a big game player, and he does it. He scores these kind of goals, and you can't really deny it.
You love to say it. That's what we love to say. Build the statue, I'm getting carried away. But when he does have his compilation, you know, with that leaping goodbye, it's going to be like banger after banger.
Crying.
I know. Ricky.
Yeah.
If you didn't tune in, first of all, why weren't you? But we'll fill you in a little bit.
Don't ask me to do it again.
No. The different one this time. We do the countdown to kick-off before the game, and we discuss the lineup, the team news breaks, we get all the community going, we do our predicted lineup. Join us next time. If not, it always kicks off 2 hours before kick-off, sometimes a bit early if you're lucky, like it did today. On the United stand, we ran a poll. Maguire or Yoro to start in the back three? It was 83% Yoro, the rest Harry Maguire. Again, Yoro did fantastic when he came on. We were lucky in the sense of we've got quite a few centre-backs that are performing well to choose from. But you said, Ricky, that you thought the manager would go with Shaw, Maguire and Dalot. He did. It worked brilliantly.
It did work brilliantly, and it's just, I said before the game, you can't beat experience, I don't think, and there's also other certain strengths with, Maguire's obviously the kingpin when it comes to, it's no coincidence that when he plays in the centre and Dalot shifts to the right, because as much as everybody loves Dalot in the centre, in many ways Maguire's even better. There's no, it's not a coincidence that they put him in the middle. I don't know how tall they both are, but Maguire to me looks 3 inches taller, as they call him, slap edge. You know what I mean? Wins all his headers, and obviously you've got to play a lot. Well, I actually said this, didn't I? They're going to have more of the ball. We're going to be defending deep. I predicted this. We're going to need to win a lot of headers in and around our own box. So, as opposed to 83% of the people who voted, I went with Dalot. I actually said I think the manager will pick Yoro, Dalot and Shaw. But I would go with Dalot, Maguire and Shaw. And obviously, I'm not criticising any player here. If you change a player in any team, you never know which way the game's going to go. There could be one little error. It could be unlucky. It could be anything can happen. So if we were to replay that again and swap any player, we'd probably lose. Do you know what I mean? So it worked brilliantly.
Even Dalot, we'll get to that.
If we swap any player,
we'll get to that in a second.
That's football. You know what I mean?
We'll get to that in a second. So many of you guys are getting your comments in, and remember, if you want your voices heard, make sure you put a super chat in because so many comments coming in. That's how we're going to get to you. Christine C says Lammens is full of confidence, brings a calmness to the back line. It's been a long time since we have had this kind of start for a goalkeeper. For me, Cunha is man of the match. DJ says, how many times have we conceded preventable goals and lost games because of it? I'm telling you, Lammens is the way back. Well, we're going to get into that next, actually. We'll get into it next because a lot of you were talking about it. Robert says, City, Pool, Chelsea, Gunners, 6 points up the table. Island Boy says, absolutely buzzing and drunk on the rum. Use this win to turn the corner. Love this team in the game. We've got Mario Franco, Florian Van de Verts, hope the Athletic article is out. Basically, yeah, I know what you're kind of referring to, saying Florian Wirtz is doing what Van der Beek did, where he came into the league and didn't quite get going with a lot of expectation. Rahul says, Cunha man of the match, no one can bully him off the ball. And we have Will H saying, just think, reverse that Arsenal result now and we'd be tied for top on points. Performance criticism aside, every player is a hero today. United. Salah Ahmad says, Lammens was incredible, man of the match for me. Mazra Weewow in there with a super chat. Thank you very much for that. United. Thank you everyone for getting your comments in. Let's talk about Lammens because we'll talk about how good Lammens was first. Mods, what difference does Lammens make to this team?
Sonny Lammens. Honestly, maybe because we've not had a good goalkeeper in the last 2 years or however long Onana and Bayern they've been our keepers, but I'm looking at Lammens and I'm thinking, wow, even the smallest of things, it could just be catching the ball directly from above him. I'm thinking, is this what we've been missing out on this long? And look, there's so many factors as to why I think Lammens is a good goalkeeper, but the main thing is just that sense of calmness, and that's what you want. I almost don't even want to talk about our goalkeeper every game. I want to go months and months without even having to mention his name because of how calm he's been and how composed he's been. I don't need him to make the biggest of saves. I don't need him to be the man of the match. I just want you to bring some kind of composure to that back line. And I feel like that's exactly what Sonny Lammens does. And look, one of the best things about him is, one of the main reasons why we brought in Onana was this distribution passing out from the back. Sonny Lammens with both feet, the way how he passes it, and I know today he was going along quite a lot, but the fact that he can actually pick out a pass, there was one point where he's kicked it and I thought, oh, that was a bit of a dodgy pass, and he went straight to one of our players. And maybe you could say it was an accident or whatever, but the fact that he can end up with both feet, he brings composure to that back line, and even his shot stopping ability, there was a chance where someone on the right hand side, maybe Salah or someone's got him, actually it was Isak, got him behind. One-on-one, Isak, one of the best strikers in the league, let's be honest, he should be finishing that every day of the week. Lammens saves it, and then straight after that he made another save. I just look at him and think, this is going to be our goalkeeper for the next 10 plus years, and I'm so happy about it.
He seems locked in.
Yeah.
So calm, and especially that young of a keeper, his second game at Anfield, which is one of the hardest stadiums in the world to go to. I was just so impressed. I mean, that save from Isak, like you said, was like prime De Gea-esque, and I'm not even getting ahead of myself. I just saw when that foot came out, it was a really, really good save. So happy with him so far. I don't want to bring a dampener to it, but Tony, does it make you think, why didn't we sign him a bit earlier? Because if he was ready for that Arsenal game, who knows what the table could be looking like?
He was signed though, he just didn't play him.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you look at it now, and hindsight's a great thing, right? So you can look at it, if Bayindir didn't make that mistake, if my grandma had a wheel, she would have been a bike. But at the end of the day, like, let's just enjoy Sene Lammens for what he is, because I think as Maud said, we've been starved for so long when it comes to, I don't even think when it comes to like Onana and Bayindir, I think De Gea's last season before that, we were starved for a keeper. And to have this young keeper come in, and not just prove, like, we all know if you've done like the research into him, he had the most prevented goals and stats in like Europe's top 5 leagues or whatever, in the Belgian league as well. But to see it firsthand, to come into the Premier League and do that, that's big boy stuff for him, and I respect it. He's now, even though he's not Belgium's number one, this is someone that we don't have to worry about, which is nice to have, because we've been worried, like, it's not like we've been worrying for so long on players. We've been worrying on like wingers, strikers, midfielders, goalkeeper. It's nice to not worry about the keeper. We're like, okay, cool, keeper positions ticked off. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. When for the next couple of years, when everyone's going to be doing their United starting 11s, we all know Lammens. So it's nice to have, and to say that after 2 games sounds crazy, but at the same time, like, De Gea didn't start well at United. I remember he looked like a cheese string when he first came. Obviously, he became the player he is. But Lammens, I haven't seen anything that I'm not thinking, like, I don't like that. There's nothing so far, so credit to him.
Yeah.
That goal against Arsenal, I'm fed up of hearing people say it was the keeper's fault. Bruno lost the ball in his own penalty area.
No, he did.
And they got a corner.
He did.
Now, they are the best corner takers in the league. Their only goal yesterday was from a corner. And it'll happen again. It'll probably happen again against us. He'll probably play for us for years, Lammens. It'll probably happen against us with Lammens in goal one day. Maybe not next time we play him, maybe not the time after that. But they are the best team in the league at taking corners, and they've got all the big horses that they put round a goalie. And you've got to cut out the first bit, not give away silly corners, and that's what happened.
I do think, though, just to give a bit of credit to Amorim's coaching team and the team themselves, Liverpool are good off set pieces, they are good off crosses, they are good at corners. I also think it's probably because Harry Maguire had such a good game as well. But today, I thought we looked like we learned from our mistakes. We were quick out of the box. We were really aggressive to the first ball. Lammens, I think, made the back line a lot more confident. We didn't look too sloppy off crosses and set pieces today. We looked a lot more confident. We won loads of headers, like you said. So I think that's important. Even when Yoro came on for Shaw, he won like quite a few headers, and that's one area of his game I thought he needed to work on a little bit, was his heading. And today, when it mattered, when the pressure was on, he got some really good headers in there. And you want that. You want to be able to rely on most of your squad to be always switched on. So that was a little bit of improvement that we saw at a really tough place where the atmosphere is on you. We looked good in an area where we have been weak. Yeah,
I remember saying that, look, if Lammens will get a clean sheet today, it's not going to be because of him. And it wasn't. I mean, look at the goal. You couldn't do anything about it. It was 5 yards out, to be fair. I know we'll get onto who the real reason why it was. But, yeah, like I said, even there was the point where later on in the game, Frimpong crossed it in, and Gakpo had like a free header in the box. If that went in, again, it wouldn't have been on Lammens, because, again, what more can you do other than do your job? And the players in front of you, the defenders in front of you, have to also do their job, so you're not constantly being peppy with loads of shots. I think one of the main reasons why our other goalkeepers had such difficult times is because we were getting 20, 30 shots a game. It's impossible for most keepers to keep a clean sheet in that kind of game. So I think once the defence and the goalkeeper have that real strong chemistry, and they're both helping each other, we're going to see a much more stronger team in terms of defending and keeping a clean sheet.
Yeah, I like that point. Apart from the fact that I think we could have done more about the goal, but we'll.
Not the goalkeeper.
No, not the goalkeeper. The team in general. The gap.
No, I said. Oh. No, I'm saying that it wasn't the goalkeeper's fault.
Oh no, yeah. I'm saying it's not the goalkeeper's fault, but you said we couldn't do anything about that. The
goalkeeper couldn't do anything about that. The team definitely could have done a lot about that,
Yeah,
we'll get into that.
I mean, Danny H said, I think it's an absolute disgrace that none of the prediction panel chose a United win before the start of the game. I believed you did.
I said 2-1.
You said 2-1 and you were right.
I said 2-1. Give me a round of applause for that.
And he changed it. And also, we've got to let him have it.
I messaged Matthew and he said I can change it. So
okay. So you're going top of the prediction table.
I said 2-1. Am I? Oh, fair enough.
You might be.
Well done, Mods.
No worries.
I was going to say the one time you don't predict a win, I bet we win, and then you change it at the last minute. We have Davin saying Amorim is not the issue. Get a solid left wing back and a midfielder, and we are good against anyone. I mean, that might be a little bit far good against anyone. I still think we've got stuff to improve. And remember, Liverpool are on a bit of a rocky run, but I actually agree that they're the two positions this team are desperately crying out for. I've got a little bit of a controversial take that I wanted to bring to the fans forum, and let me know in the comments if you agree or not. It's not reactionary. I've been thinking it for a few weeks, but I'm just kind of feeling out what the team are doing week in, week out. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely agree, and I think everyone can agree, we desperately need a midfielder. We really, really do. However, I actually think the most important position we can sign is a left wing back. Midfielder, very, very close, and it's probably joint, but left wing back is so needed. With the midfield, I think you have got options. I think Casemiro and Ugarte can play together. Casemiro and Bruno can play together. It's not always perfect, but you've got options. Left wing back, Dalot just can't be playing there. I'm sorry, he just cannot be. He was better when he went to the right, but he was the fly in the ointment in that first half. Every time he had hold of the ball, it was either the wrong decision, or you thought something was going to go wrong, or your heart was in your mouth. Everyone else was playing well, and when it went to him, it just nowhere near at the level, and that usually does happen when he plays on that left-hand side. And then Dorgu as well, as much as he's got some really good attributes, you know, he's quick, he's fast, he works hard, physical, and you know, some of his crosses were good. His first touch lets him down far too often, and he just doesn't make the right decision too many times. Even for that goal, I might be being harsh, I think he should put the tackle in. Everyone can make a mistake, but I'm just not confident on that left wing back, and I don't think we've got anyone who's like top draw to play there. The midfield, you have got people as much as it can be better. The left wing back, I just think that is a little bit of our Achilles heel. I don't know what you guys think.
Can I say something?
Go on.
I'm absolutely staggered that we've never seen Ahmad play on the left. I'm absolutely staggered. He's left-footed. What's wrong with him playing left wing back? You know, he's miles better than Dalot as a player. He's miles better than Dorgu as a player. Surely he's not going to let us down. We use him on the right, and if he's playing as a wing back, he's got defending to do. So why can't he play left wing back? And then, you know, Dalot's better than... I know Dalot's been playing crap, but he's better on the right than he is on the left. So if Ahmad's on the left, you know, and Dalot's on the right, well, we're not better on the right because he's not better than Ahmad, but Dalot's all right on the right. Ahmad could play on the left, or Mazraoui can play on the right and Ahmad can play on the left. So as much as we probably do need one, and if Ahmad is going to be used as a wing back, why can't he be used as a left wing back? I just don't get it.
No, that's a good point. I agree with your point. I think if we stay with Amorim, a wing back is key, because the whole point of this three at the back is to do with your wing backs. You can't play three at the back and not have good wing backs. And especially, like, today's performance, even though we won at Anfield and it's great, that's probably not how Amorim wants to play week in, week out. He wants to be pushing teams further, playing with possession, and normally your wing backs are in attacking positions and have the ball the most. So I totally agree in that sense that a wing back is key. However, I just think because the midfield is something we've neglected, I don't think we've replaced Michael Carrick. So like,
that's so true.
So I think because we have, like, that's just top of the list for me. Like the fact that we're doing like left wing back right now, even though we signed Dorgu in January, Diego Leon hasn't played for us yet, but he's an option there if whatever's happening in under 21s and stuff like that. You've got Harry Amass on loan. You've got people that, even though they're not solutions, and I totally agree, they're not solutions, I just don't think that United will probably sign a left wing back straight away. I think the midfielder will come first. But I think squad building, we need a midfielder. If we're building for Amorim right now, then yeah, wing back 100%.
That's the thing, like, I get so many people say, oh, Beth just doesn't like Dorgu. Dorgu has got potential. I think he could be the starting left wing back at some point. He's just thrust in a position, and he's young, and he's not the finished product yet, and he shouldn't be called upon every single game, is what I'm trying to say. He needs someone like ahead of him to be competing with and then eventually push them out. That's what I think, and I don't think there's anyone that can do that. He's having to play like a lot of games because nobody's good enough, and then when Dalot plays, he's definitely not good enough there. So that's the thing, it's such an important key part of Amorim's system. Like you said, how many times does it go out to that left hand side? How many times does it go out to the right hand side? And if you look at what Ahmad and Mbeumo are doing on the right hand side, on the left, it's just every time, like Dalot gets the ball on the left, I'm thinking, the cross isn't going to beat the first man. Dorgu can do it, but it's not enough. It's just, I feel like it's such an important position in this system that we need a bit better. Don't want to be negative because we've won the game, and that's the most important thing. But that's that's the one thing I thought, watching that game, I thought, wow, what a performance. Like, Ahmad's doing really well, and Boom, what a signing. The midfield, I actually thought, especially in the first half, was top. Bruno in the first half I thought was excellent, second half not good, but then he came off. Centre-backs did really well, goalkeeper smashed it, but that left wing-back area is constantly putting us under a little bit of pressure, I think. But
I think regardless we'll get both. And to be fair, whichever one we get first, I don't care, as long as we get both. I think that's just the main thing. We've got to go into whether it's January, whether it's the summer window, I think regardless, we just got to go in there and pick up a midfielder and pick up a wing back, because they're clearly the two places that we are lacking. And to be fair, this is very similar to what happened at the start, last season, the end of last season. Everyone said, we need a striker, we need some attacking players, and we need a midfielder as well. We ended up focusing fully on the attacking players and not getting a midfielder, when in reality we needed both of them. And I feel like we need to evaluate and be able to actually do better for the next window, where we don't just focus just on the midfield and neglect everywhere else. We go to the different positions that we need, so then we at least have a bit more balance across the team.
Yeah. Kyle White rallying says, Senny Lammens, just wow. Adoni said, agree that Bruno lost the ball in midfield several times today, but more worrisome is Mainu was not looking visible when he came in. Alex Shooton says, how's things, Beth? Build Harry a statue right now. Big game player, Harry Maguire. Simple as that. Big game player. I want to talk a little bit about Bruno Fernandes, because Ricky, are you available to be spoken to?
Somebody just said that Ahmad was invisible. I think he only came on with 4 minutes to go. I was just trying to check it. I mean, look, what do you expect?
Do you mean Kobbie Mainu?
Yeah, did I say Mainu?
You said Ahmad.
Sorry, Mainu, sorry.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about a little bit. I want to talk about Bruno, because I feel like it was a game of two halves for Bruno. In the first half, what did you make of his performance?
Absolutely superb.
Second half, what did you make of his performance?
Not so clever.
Yeah, and that's what it was today. Do you think, Toni, do you think that Amorim maybe needs to trust Kobbie Mainu a little bit more, in the sense of, when Bruno's playing the way he did in the first half, wow, brilliant, fantastic, that's what we need. But if he does start to run out of steam and you can tell he's a bit fatigued, and then the decision making puts under a bit of pressure, he needs to trust Mainu to go out there and replace him?
Yes, 100%. But today showed that, even though it was in the 80-something minute, that he took Bruno Fernandes off. I remember last time I was on the fans forum was Fulham away, where Bruno missed a penalty, had a stinker, and still did not come off. And I was literally saying Bruno Fernandes never comes off. So the fact that it happened today, and we all saw when Kobbie was coming on and thinking, okay, is Bruno gonna move to the 10? But he took him off. So there is a start. I think I would like to see Kobbie play more football and have more minutes, because if Bruno's not playing, and I'm going to use quote Amorim here, if you're in competition, if Bruno and Kobbie are in competition, like, make it a competition and make it fair at least. Like, if the guy's playing bad, take him off. But the fact that he done it today shows that maybe there's a chance, because I think a couple games ago he never would have done it. And to do it at Anfield away is credit to the man. I don't want to give him credit, but do you know what I mean? Like, it's something, because Bruno Fernandes never comes off. So the fact that he did today at Anfield away, maybe there's hope.
I remember saying this time, because I was like, watch, eventually when Bruno, and this is even to criticise Bruno too much, because like you said, his first half was very, very good, very, very positive. But I said this, look, eventually it's going to get to a point where Amorim's going to have to take Bruno off. He won't have a choice, because I'm not saying that Bruno would have made us lose or anything like that, but you're getting later on into these games, you can clearly see that Liverpool are right on top of us. It's getting really cagey. Bruno's losing the ball probably the most out of anyone. If you let it happen for the full game, we don't know what's going to happen at the end of the day. We don't know what could have eventually happened. But you're just putting yourself in the fire, basically asking for something wrong to happen, and all of a sudden it's Bruno's fault. Take him out the firing line. You can clearly see he's tired. You can see that his first touch ain't really there. His passes are not really getting to the plays that they're intended to go to. Eventually, you just got to start taking them off. And look, you have a player available to play. It's not like there's nobody on the bench. There's no one who you can replace him with. There's a player on the bench that is ready and waiting to play. So just play him there. We're not saying you have to play Kobbie 90 minutes every single game, but give him a chance. Give him a chance. Like, at least 15 minutes, 20 minutes here. But I mean, giving him 4 minutes, 5 minutes, cool. Like, I'm not really complaining. But as these games go on, and certain plays, like for example Bruno, if he is starting to slow down during the game, whether or not he's a captain, whether or not whatever that is, just evaluate what the situation is at that point and make a decision. Don't think, I'm just going to hope that Bruno just has a great full 90 minutes and in the last 5 minutes he does something cool. No, actually evaluate what's going on and make the right decision at the right time. And I think he kind of did that a little bit today, but he just needs to keep on doing it going forward.
You've been saying we need to sign a midfield player. What are we going to do with him if we do? What are we going to do with Bruno if we do sign a midfield player?
Same thing.
Well, that's it for us.
Could be him that loses his place.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You got to make the tough decisions. You got to make the big decisions. I mean, look, I've said it before on one of these shows. I've seen the biggest managers sub the biggest players before. Nobody is exempt. Nobody's exempt. I've seen Kevin De Bruyne get subbed in a Champions League game. Like, nobody is exempt from getting subbed. And again, this is even ready to go against Bruno because he actually had an alright game. But I just think going forward, Amorim needs to be able to make these bold decisions at the right time.
Yeah, and I think there's the thing that you want within a team is competition. It makes all players step up. Like, we even spoke about it, Ricky. Bruno got subbed for Portugal because they've got good players, they've got good midfielders. Bruno Fernandes in that first half, for me, if he don't play in that first half, we don't win because he was so crucial in that first goal. And I thought throughout the first half, the way he was spreading passes from the midfield is exactly what Amorim wants from a deep line midfielder. Second half, he was fatigued, not making the right decisions, lost the ball way too much, and he needed to come off. I mean, I remember I was texting my dad at the time saying he either needs to move Bruno into the 10, but I don't really want to take Cunha off because he's playing so well, or he needs to come off for Firmino, and it's just whether Amorim can make that bold of a decision. But like Maud said, like, you need competition for places. In that number 10 spot, or the striker's spot now, either Sesko, Mount or Cunha is going to lose out. And Bumo's our best player. He's nailed that right-hand side, I'm pretty sure. But one of them's going to lose out. They're all very good players and they've all got their own attributes. You know, if we do sign a midfielder, it'll have to make Bruno step up even more. So I think it's only a good thing, really.
Yeah, competition's healthy.
Yeah.
Like, no one's going to complain. This is the thing. If Amorim at the start said Bruno and Kobe in competition and it was fair and we saw Bruno Fernandes come off, I don't think this Kobe situation would be a situation. But it's the fact that Bruno doesn't come off. But today he did. So, as I said, maybe there's hope. Like, I'm still watching you, Amorim, but maybe there's hope.
He also did, I mean, you've got to do it, but he did get the assist for that Maguire goal as well, the winning goal.
Yeah, 100%.
Bruno's crossing, it's a good cross.
It's a great volley.
Yeah, so that's quite late on in the game. So as
Very
much
late.
as people were frustrated with his second half performance, he can still pull stuff like that out of the bag, and that is sort of what he's known for, isn't it?
That's the beauty of football. That ball bounces for him to lob it. It's a lob into the box, isn't it? It's not a ball on the floor that he has to chip into the box and work at it. He just lobs it into an area. Now, I'm not saying it wasn't a great ball in. It was a great ball in, but don't assume somebody else couldn't have done that or something similar. People always assume that nothing else could have happened. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. I mean, Zach Scarborough said, "Hi guys, how are you feeling about Luke Shaw today? I think people aren't noticing how crucial he was in defence today. He's got to keep this form up." I mean, me and Ricky say it every week, Ricky more often than not, but I don't get the slander for Luke Shaw week in, week out. I thought he was class today, and I think he's class most weeks. I think the only poor game he's had this season was at the Etihad. I thought he had a bit of a stinker, but most of the team did. Like, most of the team did in that game. So I think people don't like Luke Shaw probably because of his injury record and the fact he went to England when, you know, he was injured for United. And I can understand why people were frustrated with that. But as a player, I think he's so crucial. I mean, Mods, I know you've been a bit critical, but is he starting to win you over a bit?
I'm not even critical on Luke Shaw as a player. I just always say that I just feel like he can't be our long-term starter. I think that's just a fact though. Like, even though he had an alright game today.
That's a fact for absolutely every single player in the world.
No, but I'm
Depends how long
specifically for United. Specifically for United, I always say Luke Shaw's not a bad player. I never say he's a bad player. I always say he's a good player. But I'm just talking about for the future. Luke Shaw just isn't. For me, for somebody who's been there for 11 years, we talk about.
Applies to all the players.
No one's been there for 11 years.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how long you've been there. No player goes on forever. And Luke Shaw, he might go on another year, two. If he gets injured again, you never know with a player like that. He does get injured a lot. His next injury, look, God forbid, I shouldn't really even say it, but his next injury might finish his career. So you don't know when his career's going to end. But while he's playing, and while he's fit and he's playing like he is, obviously, we can't predict how long he's going to play for, but while he's playing like he is, he's crucial to that team. And every player's going to come to an end. Even Kobe Mainoo's not the forever future. It might be the future. Do you know what I mean? Every player's got a sell-by date. Every player.
Yeah, no, I agree. Again, when you listen to what I'm saying, I'm not saying that I think Luke Shaw cannot play for United right now. And even whenever I do the predictions, I always say Luke Shaw's probably going to be in this team. I never complain about Luke Shaw, but my thing is, if we are in this transition phase with this manager, and we are realistically, we're not going for no title this year, we're not going for any major trophies, we are trying to build up a team for the future. That's why for me, when it comes to certain games, I'd rather see us trying to use the players that are going to be there in the future rather than just trying to be safe every single game, because there are players that can do similar jobs than Luke Shaw but will be there in the next 5-6 years.
I get the point that you're trying to put across about building that chemistry with the players that are going to be here, but Ricky's shaking his head.
The manager has got to pick the team that he thinks gives him. Forget the future. The future. But
the players that I'm saying are not bad players.
The future is the next game. The future is the next game. That's as far. Obviously, you've got to build for the future. You want players coming in, different positions, different ages even. But the future is our future right now. Is Brighton at Old Trafford. That's it. Yeah. Don't look any further. And the manager's got to pick the team that he thinks will give him his best chance of winning that game. He can't think, such and such a player is going to be our best, whatever position, our best centre forward in 6 months, in 3 months, in 2 weeks even. Who's the best now? Who's going to give me my best chance now?
So the players that I'm debating for, would they give us a less of a chance? Because I'm debating for players like Yoro. I'm debating for players like, let's say, Martinez when he comes back. They're the players that I'm talking about.
But possibly. But I think Luke Shaw's playing that well that I don't think any player is going to play better than him in that position. No player. Martinez, Yoro, nobody. Mazraoui, no. He's not left-footed even, Mazraoui. And we like a left-footed player that side. Luke Shaw has got that place nailed down. I've heard the manager talk about him as well. I'm convinced the manager thinks like I do. And I just think that you've got to pick I know you've just said that you think you might still have just as much chance, but you're weakening your team a little bit. Whoever you put in his place, you're weakening your team a tiny little bit, and every tiny little bit helps. What's the phrase in Neil's use? Small
margins. Marginal gains.
Marginal gains. Don't marginal lower. Don't marginal lower. Marginal gain. A tiny little bit better.
Quickly on that, Ricky, you said you think the manager thinks like you. I know you've had your criticisms of Ruben.
He picked the team today that I would have picked, didn't he, apart from the Sesko thing.
I know you've had your criticisms with Ruben Amorim, but you do seem to be agreeing with a lot of his starting lineups recently. I mean, what are your thoughts on the manager as of late?
Well, obviously he's stubborn with his... we'd be criticising him like mad now if we got beat 4-0 today, which could easily have happened, do you know what I mean? But there's a massive difference with... he was struggling with his 2 number 10s last year with, Garnacho played that. Garnacho isn't a quarter of the player that Mbuemo is, or Cunha. Even Rashford to start with, and he soon didn't fancy Rashford, he got rid of him. Bruno as a 10. I think Bruno's days as a 10 are gone. He's not got the pace or strength of a Cunha. He can't hold the ball like Cunha or Mbuemo. So, if Bruno loses his... In years gone by, I mean, he's only been there how long's he been there? The manager, 12 months perhaps. In years gone by, if Bruno lost his place in a certain position, I remember Ten Hag putting him on the right wing when we played... Don't have to go over old ground, but there'll be a few people watching who's not heard it before. When we played Barcelona, both home and away, Bruno played on the right wing and Weghorst played at number 10. That wasn't because he thought Bruno was important on the right wing, it was because he thought Weghorst was important at number 10, without any shadow of a doubt. He doesn't think, he didn't wake up one morning and think, we're going to be better if we put Bruno on the right wing. He felt that we needed Weghorst, and who's to argue with him? We won. Yeah. Who's to argue with him? So, I forgot where we was going with that now. Yeah, this is my point. Bruno's now playing as a number 6 supposedly, isn't he? Mm-hmm. Again, he had a good game today, to be fair. Overall, I would say he had a good game. Like you said, second half he wasn't so great, but he still popped up with that great ball into the box that was the winner. I think Bruno's days of just being shoehorned into the team, I think they're gone. He'll play. I think he'll play as a number 6 or he won't play, and usually that'll mean he will play. But when he doesn't play, he's not going to start playing, I don't think, as a 10 or a right winger or anything like that, as has happened in the past.
I mean, you just touched there on the improvements that he's got this season compared to last. I saw somebody say online, Toni, I just imagine Garnacho in the position that Mbeumo was in. And I think when you talk about marginal gains, like, the signings we have made are now better, so it gives you a better chance. Like, Cunha is better, and Mbeumo is better. And do you think you're going to start to see that click a little bit more now? Have you seen them signs?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like, listen, we played Garnacho, Højlund, and Seško, Cunha, and Mbeumo is a massive improvement to that. And not only just as players, but players that have played in the Premier League as well. So that's 10 times better. But this is the thing, I feel like Ruben Amorim hasn't got his team yet. He hasn't signed 11 players. We're probably still, I think, honestly, if Ruben Amorim is here next season, some of these players that played today won't be playing next season. And that's fine, because he wants his team at the end of the day. Some of these players are not his players, and they're doing a job at the moment, and because we won, it's great. But I think if he stays and he's our manager for the long term, and whatever Ratcliffe says in 3 years or whatever, he will get his players. So the fact that we now have at least footballing people who know how to sign these players in the likes of Jason Wilcox and Omar Barada, and we're starting to like recruit in a way we've never really recruited before for a manager and for a squad building, we should see the results. Like, obviously, I think it was easy to be better than Garnacho and Højlund because they stunk out for a couple seasons, but it's nice to have. It is nice to have. So I hope it works out. I really hope it works out for not just Amorim, but just for Man United in general.
Yeah, and if we can revamp, other areas of the pitch the way that we've revamped them forward positions, I think that would be good for us. And don't get me wrong, we've still got some good players. And for example, I think we've got some really promising centre backs, and I think Bruno and Casemiro for now can do a job in the midfield. And I think, what I think of Bruno, but they are not, like you would say, the future, and it's an area that we do need to invest in. But I mean, both of them could be gone next year, so if we can do that same recruitment in other parts of the pitch, that's going to really help Ruben Amorim if he is still here, which let's hope he is. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what Ruben Amorim needs to do to make this an actual turnaround, not one of them where we say this could be a turnaround and then you go on and lose the next couple of matches, or this is the turnaround and then you go to the likes of Brighton comes to Old Trafford next week and you're leaving with your head in your hands thinking, oh, why did I get my hopes up once again? Like, what do we actually need to do to make this work? Ricky, you've got your hand up.
That's exactly what I wanted to speak about, and you brought it on superbly. Over the moon with 2 wins on the bounce, especially over the moon with a win at Anfield. But when you go to Anfield, you've got a mindset, as I spoke about Cunha playing instead of Seško, you've got a mindset of everybody getting behind the ball, making yourselves difficult to play through. And although we were difficult to play through, we also rode our luck. Think of a couple of the chances that they missed. That header that they missed was a disgrace that they missed that. Was it Gakpo? Yeah. And the one that Salah skewed wide when it bounced in front of him about 6 yards. So we rode our luck at the same time, but you need a little bit of luck. But it's fantastic to go and win at Anfield, and we're all giddy. I'm over the moon. You've seen it, you know what I mean? I'm absolutely over the moon. But next week against Brighton, the attitude's got to be the same. They've all got a funnel back behind the goal. In a round, if I was a coach, I'd be in there saying to them, when we play Brighton next week, I want you to pretend that we're playing Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? We've got to stop them from scoring. I know they got 1 Liverpool, but if they get 1, at least you only need 2. Brighton regularly score 2 or 3 against us. We need to keep Brighton to none or 1. And then we only need 1 or 2. Stop thinking, and I said this to you, Tony, when you were talking about bringing Seško on to try and get a goal. When you're leading, don't think about where your next goal's coming from. You've got to stop them from scoring. We've got to keep that goals against column low. And then each game we play, if we can keep it to none or 1, we've got a good chance of winning. Well,
let's see if Ruben Amorim agrees with you, Ricky, because we have some footage from Ruben Amorim's press conference. So let's hear what Ruben Amorim had to say.
Of course, it's really important. I don't have many wins in Manchester, so this is really important. It's back-to-back, like you said, is an Anfield. That is really important. Every detail of this game, it's something that I am speaking for a while. The spirit, when we suffer a bad moment or a goal, maintain the composure. All these small things today was perfect. Let's try to do that in the next week. That is really important. I think was really important for our fans because they are struggling. They struggle against Grimsby, they struggle against Brentford, and today they saw a different team, and that is really important to come here and to the stadium with the champion, biggest rival, to sing during the game. That is massive for us. So this win is for them.
John, Ruben, I was just going to ask.
I think sometimes, especially in the bad moments, you have to go with your guts, and I always go by that, no matter what. I think it's the most important thing in the manager, right or wrong sometimes, but that is, for me, it's the key point of being a manager. And then sometimes you have a player in the good moment, but the characteristic of the game is not for him. So it's better to go with the player and understand that is not for him, and then take him out to the game. I don't understand the game like this. You don't. Sometimes the characteristics of the game change the way you are going to approach the game. So I think, for example, Cunha in the middle, if we put Ben, I think it's easier for this kind of centre backs to control our striker. So we try to do that, but when you win, he's so smart, the coach, it's amazing. And then when you lose, it's something wrong with the manager. I understand that. That's why I'm going always what I think is the best for the team. Now, I want you guys to continue with the narrative that you are. So don't change that. That is best for me. So I will not now increase the goal or whatever. No, you continue now with the same narrative. What we need to do is try to win 3 games in a row, and then forget about the top 4, top 6. We already said that we need to go to Europe, but this doesn't change nothing. We are the same team that we were 90 minutes ago. The way people see the team is different, but we are the same team. So we have a lot to do. We had some luck in the few moments. So we have an amazing spirit. We need to take all of that to the next game. So the goal is always the same.
Well, that was Ruben Amorim speaking in his press conference. So really, I mean, first of all, amazing to have that footage on the United Stand Fans Forum. So credit to everyone involved in that, because it's brilliant to hear what Ruben Amorim had to say. Interesting point that I picked up on that I'll bring to you, Tony. Ruben Amorim said that the same team they were 90 minutes ago than that they were when they played that game, and that they just need to keep focused. It's not important thinking about, you know, the future goals. They've just got to win 3 games in a row. Carry on with the narrative, as in keep criticising them because they're the same team. What do you think he's alluding to in that?
I think this is our season, because this is the first time we're not in Europe. Normally last season we would be like, okay, we've lost this Premier League game, but now it's Europa League, let's focus on this. But if we're not careful, we could only play 40 games this season. So that's not a lot of football, especially for a squad this size. So we're literally, I know it's the whole cliche, 1 game at a time. We are literally 1 game at a time. We're still the same team that we all predicted, other than Mordzs, that could have lost today. So credit to him for saying that, because he's being honest with us. And this is my worry, is that I don't know where we will finish in the league, because let's say, I don't know where you guys predicted us to finish in the league, but we play in Brighton next week, and Brighton finished 8th. So if you go look back at Brighton's results, they beat Man City, but then they lost to Nottingham Forest 7-0 last season. If you're going to finish around 8th in the table, you're going to win some and you're going to lose some. But we need to start winning. We need to start winning consistently. Fair enough, this was our back-to-back games and this is great, but I don't want this Anfield performance to be in vain. I don't want this Man United team to be like, okay, we can play big games, but when it comes to these, I don't want to say Brighton's a little team, but you know what I mean? When it comes to the games that we maybe should win on paper, that we don't perform. Because I feel like, other than losing to Arsenal, City at home this season, Amorim doesn't have a bad game record. We won at the Etihad last season, and we should have won at Anfield the season before. So Amorim's sides can set up well against big teams. So it's really important. I liked what he said, and I hope he really drills that into the players, because it's 1 game a week. I think the one thing about us, even the way we concede goals, is I feel like not only are some of our players just not as good as we once knew as United fans, it's a mental thing as well. Like, especially at Old Trafford, I feel like the confidence was there, especially when we had like Bayindir in goal, for example. Like, you just feel like it was just cagey and nervy, and I hope this Anfield win will not have that, and Old Trafford will be buzzing, and we will expect to go out and win. Because if we start piling up these games with 1 game a week,
you never know.
Big question.
You never know. You never know. Like, we've got to remember, half of the league is in Europe. Like, nine teams are in Europe this season, and so we're going to be playing teams where they're coming on Thursdays. I think we play Brighton on Saturday, if I'm right. I think that's our only Saturday game until December.
Play a lot of Monday games.
Yeah, we play a lot of the Monday games, because these teams are going to be playing in Europe. So we got to take advantage of this. You got your training time, you've got your rest. Let's go and do something. Take it 1 game at a time, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Josh the Red said, but this wasn't the same team that lost to Grimsby. The team started Fredrickson, Ugarte, Mainu, Heaven, Onana, etc.
Why did he mention it was the same? He didn't say it was the same team.
He says it's the same team that's had losses this season. And do you know what, Mords, I wanted to ask you, do you think he's like challenging the players' mentality there? Like, because we've had big results in our dark days at United, we have done. I thought today was a little bit different because I actually generally do think we went toe-to-toe with Liverpool, which is something we've maybe not always done, even if we've got results. Do you think he's challenging the players' mentality to finally get that run together?
Yeah, because realistically, he's not talking to us. He's talking to the players. We can't change the outcome of the games. Only the players can change the outcome of the games. Only the players can go and win back to back to back. So he is really speaking to the players, saying, "Look, you're the same guys that were here against Grimsby, against who else have we lost to? Brentford or whatever. Arsenal. You're the same guys that played in that game. So why can't you go and do it again next week and the week after that and the week after that? Why can't we continue this streak and not just be excited because we won 2 games? Make that the norm. Make that back to the norm. I mean, it should have been a norm anyway, but make that something that we're used to and that we're not getting excited because we won 2 games in a row. So yeah, he is speaking to the players, and I think mentality is a huge thing in this squad anyway. So many times we speak about United players and how confidence is the reason why they're not playing well. We say that all the time, and I feel like part of that is obviously, as a professional player, you do have to kind of find a way to build up that confidence yourself, but the manager also has to be able to instill that into his players and truly make them believe that they are the best player at that time to play for United. Because some of those players, you never know, they might be thinking, I'm only playing because, you know, Amorim's got right now, I might be gone next season. So a lot of them, they might have that in the back of their head, or because Amorim always says about he needs this player here, they might be thinking, oh, I'm only here for this season, might be gone next year. But Amorim needs to get into their head that, look, you are the guy that I want. Whether it's right or not in the future, you are the player that I want to play in this game. So when you go out there, give 110% every single game you play, and eventually we'll start seeing better results.
And prove yourself as well. Prove yourself. I mean, Cunha, you know, a lot of people talking about him being dropped out of the team for Mount. Today has his best game in a United shirt. That's exactly the type of thing you want. I mean, Amorim touched on Cunha there about him basically causing the centre-backs big issues, and how, you know, when that goes for you, the coach is amazing. When it doesn't, the coach is poor. For me, Ruben Amorim, I said if he beats Liverpool today, I was being shameless. I was like, if he beats Liverpool today, he has till Christmas before I criticise him again. I mean, if we lose badly against Brighton, that might change very quickly. Yeah. But, you know, on here, and United fans, if the coach gets it right, you'll always give him massive amounts of credit. We've just not had it right enough. But this season, despite some results, we are playing better. We've got better players, but we are playing better. It's just got to continue on a consistent basis, and fine margins and getting them wins together is what's really going to drill it home to the fans that, you know, you deserve time, and, you know, we actually could be onto something here with this manager and the team. I mean, Maud, do you want me to bring in a couple of stats for you that I think you'll like? First one, Manchester United are now 2 points behind Liverpool in the Premier League table.
Oh, that's a good start.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
Second half of the season, we're doing the time.
21's coming, man.
We actually cannot help ourselves, can we? Next one, Forest just lost 4 on the bounce and sacked their manager.
Yeah, but he's an idiot, though. I don't know why they did that.
I just wanted to bring that up as a bit of banter. He also didn't win the league like the year before that. So, but it is nice to see Liverpool have this little bit of a drop off, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Move they got next week, anyone know?
I'm going to get that up right now
away
for
from
you.
home, I take it.
Yeah.
It's a tough game.
They have got next week in the Premier League, Liverpool. Knowing them, it'll be like
a European game in between.
Pretty easy game. They have got next. They've got Frankfurt away and then Brentford away. It's not easy to go to Brentford. We knew that.
Oh, Frankfurt.
We found that out. I mean, Jack Isles says Lammens is actually feeling like a goalkeeper. Lol. Tom Calvin says Postecoglou currently at Anfield for talks to be the next manager. Confirmed. Adoni said all that United fans need is grinding results and or playing a good game. Fans get critical when the team loses / or plays crap. The green team says me and Rick are a similar age, we've seen it all. Lol. Correct team pick today. Shaw was outstanding, Cunha's best game, Mount was crucial. Mindset and consistency is now key. Jack Isles says, come on United, I won £600 off this game. Buzzing for you. Soy and Jaker says, lol, Ricky was obsessed with Shaw. He was good today, but had another good game this season, but that's it. Sell Shaw at the end of the season if you can. Owen Hopkins says, really thought Cunha was class today. His strength under pressure was amazing. Can see why Amorim wanted him in the squad. He named him in the press conference as a key piece today, so he's obviously very happy with him. Peter PJ Ellie says, we cannot forget to give Lammens the praise for the follow-up save from the McAllister shot after the Isak save.
That's what I was saying.
Good goalkeeper gives confidence to the team. Maud said that earlier. Even though it was debatable whether it's offside or whatever was happening with it, like the fact he stayed focused, stayed locked in, it just shows like he's switched on. Salah Ahmed says Martinez will replace Shaw when he's back. Well, DJ Buzzy says Martinez will be on the bench for the Nottingham Forest game. I'm so happy. Great win again today. Ahmad is pure talent. Talk about Ahmad. Just a quick one, quick fire, because I don't want to spend too much longer on Shaw. We talk about it every week. But if Martinez is fit, do you think he comes straight back into the starting 11? Just a quick yes or no.
For Forest, no.
For Forest, no, but yeah, in the long run.
Yeah.
No.
Get in the comments. What do you think? Ahmad as well. A little bit of mixed comments on Ahmad, which I always find strange because usually, when he has a good game, which he usually does, there's still a few criticisms going around about him. But Ahmad today, who wants to talk about him? Because I think before that yellow card, he was on track to be a man of the match contender as well, really.
He was absolutely class. The pass for Bruno, and Buemo for the goal was absolutely fantastic. And he was winning the ball. He got a yellow card. So unlucky. He's so quick to get into challenges like that when the ball's a little bit loose.
Clean, though.
And he can't. I think Jamie, and fair play to Jamie Carragher, being a Liverpool fan, even he said, what's he supposed to do with his feet after he's won the ball? He's sliding through, he's kicked the ball away, got the ball so cleanly, and then obviously caught the player, but his feet were low.
Yeah.
For me, it's not even a free kick.
Yeah.
And he gets a yellow card, which we can all pretty much assume that's what got him subbed. Surely he subbed him because he was on a yellow card. I don't think he subbed him because he thought he was strengthening the team. So I thought Ahmad was absolutely superb today. Absolutely superb.
I think Ahmad was amazing. And one thing that I loved about Ahmad today is a lot of people always say that the reason why they don't think Ahmad should start is defensively. Is he going to be able to handle it? Can he handle whether it's Salah or whoever's on the other side? I think Ahmad defensively was amazing. I think he got back very, very, very well. And that's something that he does great anyway. I just think there was this weird agenda that kind of started around Ahmad and people kind of switched on him for some reason. People forget, this is the player that we begged for under Ten Hag. Now, we begged every single week for Ahmad to start because of how good of a player he was and still is. And this is the player that we're seeing today. I mean, that first goal, like Ricky said, it wouldn't have happened if Ahmad wasn't on the ball. Those kind of passes, they're not easy passes to make. In the first minute of the game, you have to be switched on, really switched on to see Mbumo make that run and to make it on the outside of his left foot. Great ball. And obviously, gets the assist for the goal. So look, I think Ahmad was amazing today. And look, going forward, I don't see a reason why Ahmad doesn't start in this team. Whether it's on the left or the right, I don't see a reason why Ahmad don't start for United.
I'm dying to see him get a game on the left. I'm absolutely desperate. Two things that happened today. We keep speaking about a left wing back. There was the cross-field ball because they both did poorly, in my opinion. When they were on the left, anyway. The cross-field ball to Dalot, that it was a little bit behind him, but he should have controlled it, and I think it went out for a throw-in. He should have done better there. But then when Dorgu came on, that ball over the reason I'm mentioning this is I think Ahmad would have controlled both of his balls.
Yeah,
so there's the ball over the top that Dorgu, he got to it fairly comfortably. It was 6 inches in field when he touched it. When you touch it and it's 6 inches in field, you've got to get the weight right. You can't let it roll out after that, which is what Dorgu did on the dead ball. What we don't know is whether the flag went up or not, because he was clear, he wasn't through on goal because he was so wide. But Dorgu was clean through. It was a really dangerous situation if he kept it in and if the flag didn't go up. And they're both very, very poor touches, one by Dalot, one by Dorgu. And if Ahmad's on the left, I think he keeps both of them balls in, and then you never know what happens next.
Yeah.
He's a natural for me. He's so talented. He's just a naturally very good footballer. So good with the ball at his feet. His first touch is fantastic. He's intelligent. He knows what positions to get in. I really, really like him. I think the only thing, and this is so minor, and this is because I have such high standards for him because he's so good, is occasionally, and I think it's literally just about time, him and Mbumo sometimes get in each other's way. I mean, for the first goal, fantastic, brilliant. Yeah. Sometimes if Mbumo's on the outside, Ahmad needs to make the run inside, and vice versa for Mbumo as well. But I think once they actually have quite a few games together, they could be a lethal partnership. They were lethal today against Liverpool, and on more than one occasion. And they're the reason that we won the game with that goal, that first goal. I mean, it was fantastic. So I think the reason Ahmad gets criticised defensively is literally just because he's a natural winger and because of his height. But people don't realise, one, the back post, he's usually really good at covering. 2, he's actually deceptively strong, deceptively quick, gets back really well. And that tackle as well, for me, and this is just a little bit of a bugbear for me with just VAR in general, I don't understand why in them situations, it's a great challenge. It's a challenge you'd expect to see from like a top-class defender. I think it's a fantastic challenge. If you're seeing that back, why can't the VAR in Michael Oliver's ear just go, oh, it's never a yellow? You know, it's never a yellow. 2 seconds, we don't even have to hear it. They've got a headset on. I mean, I get it, like sometimes it goes for the opposition team as well, but I just think situations like that, it should never have been a yellow, and I thought he got brought off because of that, because Amorim didn't want to take any risks, which you can understand.
Ahmad don't get yellows anyway. He's not a kind of player to do that.
What VAR are worried about is the stop-startness of the game and how long that might take. Even if he says that to him, what's the referee then going to do if he's already done it? Is he got to take the yellow card out again and give it all that? It's not a yellow card.
It should be a voice of God that has the final say.
I think that what should happen is Ahmad stays on. I think what should happen is if Ahmad gets a second yellow, they should go back and check the first one. I think that's what should happen, because fair enough, you don't want to stop the game after every single yellow card. But if he then goes and gets a second yellow, they're going to check it anyway. Yeah. They're going to check if the second yellow is a yellow card. So why can't they check the first one as well? If the first one's not a yellow card, then fair enough. You take that one away.
Interesting point. That
you take the first one away and keep the second one.
If you get sent off for a second yellow, do they actually check that is it? Oh, of course they do.
Yeah, they do.
It's a red card.
It's a red card, isn't it?
Of course they do. Yeah.
So they should check for the first one. So if I know, obviously they don't do that in it, so that's not a case. But like you said, if Ahmad stayed on the pitch, we don't know what would have happened again. It's a future, but he was one of our better players attacking, and he also was helping us when it came to at least having that outlet because of how quick he is and how quickly he's able to press Liverpool's defence. So we would have actually had a better game with Ahmad on the pitch because he would have been able to be at that outlet for us on that right hand side. So
always say you don't know. We did win the game.
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 You will never ever know. If you'd have stayed on, maybe we wouldn't have won it.
Yeah, but
you never know.
For the next game anyway. You know what I mean? For the next game.
J. Billy Josh says, do as Sir Alex Ferguson did. Names are in his envelope to go at the end of the season. Free Immortal says, Ahmad has been selfish on many occasions this season, but today he was class. I think he's been. I mean, his first couple of games he was a bit sloppy, but today I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant last game. But as we digress, you know what I'm buzzing about? Amorim had the confidence to start him as a wing back in a big game away from home. I think Ahmad proved today he can do it. You know, he can do it away at Anfield. He can do it in big games. It's not just against the Southamptons. You know, with Old Trafford there, he can do it. He can do it in the big games as well. So buzzing about that. Lastly, before we do the magic moment, man of the match, a lot of people are just asking us to quickly give Casemiro his dues. Had to come off because of that yellow card. But before that, did we all? I mean, I thought he had a good performance.
I thought he played well, yeah.
Yeah, I think first half, I think he done quite well. Like, big up Unk, especially playing in Korea. Like Japan. To come back, or Japan, playing in Japan to come back from the Brazilian international break and do that performance, because I'm always quite sceptical of players or the games after international break, especially like your South American players who have to travel quite far, jet lag, all of it like comes to fruition. But Casemiro had a decent game, and fair enough, it was a silly yellow, but again, it wasn't his fault. I think, I'm not sure who gave the ball away, but he stopped the counter and then had to come off after that. But Casemiro can give us that at Anfield away.
He looked like he was injured when he came off. I don't think he was feigning.
I think it was a serious one.
I think he was just trying to get a sub break. Yeah. What I would say is I was really nervous about Ugarte coming on. I knew Casemiro had to go. I knew because of previous issues with the second yellow, and Michael Oliver was just looking for it, you could tell, and Amorim made the right decision. But I was nervous about Ugarte coming on. However, he proved me wrong, and maybe we should be a little bit more trusting of that substitution. What do you think?
When we got games like this, and I can go back to Anfield away last season and when he started, when we don't have the ball and we are backs against the wall, I think Ugarte can do a job, because I think his best attributes come off the ball. But we're Man United, and so hopefully when we become a good team again, we want to be on the ball. We want to be doing what Liverpool done today, except like winning. But do you know what I mean? Like, we want to be like with the ball constantly, and that's when Ugarte. No one gets onto Ugarte for his defending. I think we get onto Ugarte for what he does on the ball. So I wasn't, obviously, like bringing him on, I was sceptical because he's not had the greatest moments. But I feel like when he does it, when he has to do a job like that, I'm fine with that. It's when we're chasing a goal, or when we're playing a team that's going to give us possession, and then we need Ugarte to make a decision or play a ball. That's when I'm like, Casemiro and Ugarte is not the one. But credit to him, I didn't see anything when he came on and said, I'm annoyed that he came on. I remember he done a little turn in the second half and passed it, and I was just like, oh, like,
Fair enough.
fair enough. Like, do you know what I mean?
I remember that, yeah.
In certain situations like that, and I remember he done it again at Anfield last season, where there was a long ball when he put in a random like little reverse pass. I was like, oh, like, so situations you can. It's just when we have the ball constantly and we're seeing Manu Ugarte on the ball constantly, that's when fans probably think, this guy isn't it.
It's Ugarte for me. It's like he either has like such a good moment in a game or such a good game, or then it can go the opposite, where it's complete. Like it's a match-defining moment in a negative way, and that's the risk you take with him. But that's something hopefully that can be worked on with a bit of confidence. Let's see how it goes. I mean, let's finish up, guys, with man of the match and magic moment. So, anybody want to volunteer as tribute to go first for their magic moment? This might be yours, Ricky. I don't want to steal it.
Go for it.
It was that foul that Ugarte won in the end. Cunha. Sorry,
yeah,
that was the one that Cunha won in the end. Like, I think that was when I knew, oh my gosh, we're about to win. Like the way you celebrated, I was just like, yeah, this is it. Like,
that's it.
It's you go back in hindsight now and you think that's the game. Yeah. That's when you ice out the game and you can relax. And
so your magic moment was me celebrating.
Yeah, 100%. Because that was the first time. Like, even though the final whistle was great, but when he won that, it was a minute to go,
yeah.
And you win it in their half and thinking, wow. I got that sense of relief, like, you know what, we've actually won at Anfield for the first. Last time I won at Anfield I was 18 years old. I'm 28. So, like, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since we won at Anfield. So, yeah, that's my magic moment.
Mine is the Lammens save.
Oh, you stole it.
Yeah. It was just a big moment in the game, and it's like getting a goal. I would have hated for him to get a goal, the first Premier League goal against us. Yeah. And Lammens just absolutely shut him up and said, nope, not today. And yeah, great save, so pick another one.
I'll go Ricky next.
You're going next, you said.
No, you can go next.
I'll go Maguire's goal. Yeah,
I knew you were going to do that. Yeah. I'll go with Mbumo's goal then. Or, to be fair, I thought the Bruno pass. I mean, Ahmad's pass was great. The whole Mbumo goal, I'll go with. There's so many ones that you could do. The Luke Shaw tackle, I thought was really good at that one point where he dove straight in. But there's loads of them. Get yours in down below. Bruno assist is coming in a lot. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Man of the match time. Ricky, I'll start with you on this one.
I will go for a change this week, as well as he played, Luke Shaw. I am going to go, especially coming in, into such a big game and scoring the winning goal, apart from winning loads of headers in his own box. Slabhead. Slabfield.
Tony?
Brian Mbumo, I think really good performance. He had a good performance against Sunderland, and the fact that he scored a goal, which, especially in the early goal as well, which just helped a lot of our nerves. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, that's the first goal we've scored at the Kop in a minute, because both goals were, I think, since Juan Mata, I want to say.
Right.
That's like, I don't remember, like, because most of the goals we scored at Anfield were second half. So the fact that he done that at the Kop to silence them at the start, yeah, Brian Mbumo.
1 minute in as well. Go
on. I'm going to say, I had two, but I'm going to say Cunha. I think he did a lot of dirty work today, like probably what goes unnoticed a lot of the time. I mean, I said it before as well, like he didn't get a goal or assist, but he may as well have, you know what I mean? And usually it's the guys that get the goals and assists that are in the headlines and the newspapers, whatever. But I think today, the work that he did, it might go unnoticed, but I think he should be man of the match.
Yeah.
Fair shout, that.
So many good options. I'm probably just going to go with Mbumo for me. I just think that first goal was such an important one for us, and throughout the game, his work ethic, his runs in behind. I really, really do like him as a player, but so many good options. I just think if I was going to edge it, I'd go towards Mbumo. Lammens, yeah, maybe I'll say Lammens just to make
you got a clean sheet for me today. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, like that crucial save, who knows which way the game will go if he gets that first goal in the Prem. Like it's a really important moment in the game. But look, everyone, let us know yours. A lot for Cunha, a lot for Harry Maguire. Wayne Finnegan says, yes, come on, my voice is gone. I actually had one last question. Smash a like on the video, first of all. Smash a like for the fans forum. It's been fantastic to celebrate a Manchester United win at Anfield since 2016. It's about time. It is about time. Hopefully this can be a turning point. Before I ask my last question to our panel today, I want to remind you all, Bundesliga live games on a Friday night. You get to see the actual match footage with Goldbridge watching it along with you. You don't want to miss it. There's so many good up-and-coming players coming from that league. It's a really exciting league, and you get to scout them all out on a Friday night on That's Football. And you know what, as well, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a Liverpool in crisis video coming very quickly on That's Football. So subscribe, get your notifications on for all your footballing wants and desires. They're all there. And of course, the United Stand every day. You all know about that. You've got to stay tuned. We've got so much good content coming up, especially coming off the back of this amazing win. But my last question for all you guys is, the next games we have before the international break are Brighton at home, Forest away, Spurs away. The possibility of 9 points there. How many points does Amorim United have to get to start thinking, you know what, we're serious, we could actually put together a decent run in the Prem this season?
6 or 7.
Yeah.
6 or 7.
Spurs are such a ugly team. They're very, very bogey for
Forest
it.
have been terrible. But the new manager bounce and all that palaver. I know they've got one game before that, but new manager bounces often last 4 or 5 games, don't they?
Yeah.
So have they named a new manager yet?
No, not yet. No. Spurs lost today.
It's really nice.
But Spurs for a couple of weeks, is it? Obviously, Brighton at home next week. We touched on this earlier. Not a little bit. They've been a miles better team than us for a couple of years. So,
if we don't lose,
we've got to be
very happy.
We've got to be right up for it that game.
If we don't lose any games, I'll be very happy. But I don't want to draw.
That'd be 3 points. But it'd be nice that to go unbeaten for a while. It's not enough points, but I'd love us to be unbeaten. I wouldn't take it. I suppose what would I take? I suppose if you could guarantee me 5 points, I'd probably take it. That's a win and 2 draws.
Yeah.
I'm looking for 7. I think that is very
I'd love
optimistic.
more, but I just think.
I want 9.
Yeah, just think.
Do you want 9?
I
think you've got to win your home game against Brighton. It's tough one.
Tough
Brighton
game.
are a very good team. I think you've got to win your home game. I expect us to beat Forest. I'm going to be honest. It's that Spurs game for me that will be tricky. Spurs are a good outfit. I know Aston Villa won there today, but Aston Villa can put a good performance on when they need to. So I'd like to say 7. If we get that, I'll be over the moon. But yeah, let us know what you think. So many people putting 9 in the chat.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
And you know what, to finish us off, what a legend. Mojo is gifted 50 United Stand memberships.
He always does that. Or she always does that, I don't know.
Yeah, for a win. Brilliant. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate you. And we appreciate everyone who's got the super chats in, their live comments. Smash a like on the video. It's been a fantastic day. And these are the games we live for. Imagine if we could do this every week. Wouldn't it be great? Ricky, thank you so much.
Thank you. Enjoyed it.
Toni as well. Great to have you back.
Thank you for having me. Enjoyed it.
Nice to meet you, Toni.
Nice to meet you, Ruben.
Yeah, it's great to be on a show with you. You're going to have to come back more often for sure.
Undefeated.
Undefeated, yeah, mate. Guys, maybe if you want to win the title.
Bring you back for sure. And Mordzs as well.
Yeah.
It's been a good one.
Yeah, man, hot takes next week.
Hot takes are going to go crazy.
They're going to go crazy.
Start getting them in. The comments. We'll put a post out for your hot takes, and I want to hear some absolutely crazy ones that we can get into. Get Ricky to send a few over as well. I'm sure there'll be some flying in from him. But look, everyone, this has been your match day content on the United Stand for Manchester United against Liverpool at Anfield, and we've gone out there, we've got back-to-back wins, we've smashed it, we've won. Harry Maguire's statue is being built as we speak. We're going to build one at Anfield as well while we're at it. But look, thank you so much everyone for getting involved. Have a lovely rest of your Sunday, and we will see you on the next one.